You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic.
You are now tapped in with Hood in the Morning.
Waking up the masses.
When you wake up in the morning,
It's your baby mama's favorite astrologer.
like, can I get 5 more minutes?
Scrape that crust off that third eye and tap in with Hood in the morning.
Every morning.
From Atlantis to Egypt, you are now tapped in with the realest nigga on the internet, the Hood Mystic. The Hood Mystic.
Peace to the family. Peace to the family. It is May 8th, 2021. This is a energy read for May 11th, 2021. This is what I like to call my new moon's intentions and rituals, and then we deal with the energy during the full moon. From what we initiate now during the new moon, we experience that energy during the full moon phase. But the reason why I get into these intentions and rituals and things like that is because if you do not intend your life, somebody else will intend your life, and 10 times out of 10 you will not like it. So what works for me is to work real hard on my intentions, and then you know, as we deal with these waning months and these waning moon energies, I reference my previous intention, and if I didn't receive it or if I was far off, I began to ask myself, you know, why? You know, why haven't I manifested the thing that I truly, truly desire? And ultimately, the answer is within this conversation that we're about to have. So get you something to drink. Hopefully you got your hood in the morning cups and things of that nature, or you got your blunt roll, serpent in the building. So, you know, we got that pack simmering, right? We just catching a good vibe, having a wonderful afternoon. I had a little bit of time to myself, started taking notes, and now we're here. I'm ready to go through with a whole new moon energy reading. So let's first dive into a little overview of the things that I'll be discussing today. So there is a concept such as out of order, chaos, right? Or out of chaos, order, one of those things. But I think the saying is out of chaos, right, comes order. So we're flipping it and saying out of order comes chaos, right? Because we understand what chaos is. If you don't know what chaos is, please tap into my full moon chaos video where I went over the full chaos energy, but I will tap into it a little bit on here. But a full fledged out energy reading, please view the full moon chaos video. Of course, when you deal with intentions, you gotta have some type of identification of your limitations, to which you could ignore your limitations, but if you didn't have limitations, you wouldn't have intentions. Nobody is super fine doing intentions to become even super finer, right? If you really feel fine, you ain't trying to get finer. You just cool with your fine ass, right? So shout out to all of the fine ass people out there in the world. Shout out to you wherever you at during this video, catching a vibe. It's a wonderful Saturday afternoon. It is hood in the morning, and we here talking about this new moon energy, okay? So it is we are dealing with sidereal astrology. And sidereal astrology, that is the ancient Egyptian tarot deck. So sidereal astrology has the sun and the moon conjunct in the third decan of Aries. And so this is what we'll talk about. You know, if it is in Western, if you're a Western astrology follower and you're into the realms of the new moon being in Taurus, that's perfectly fine, because these energies will speak to whoever is in the space of energy. When you deal with astrology and you get into this esoteric stuff, our human mind tends to conceptualize it or contextualize it or compartmentalize it, but we need to get to the essence of the conversation in reference to your personal intentions, right? Because you want to order your life. You don't want your life ordered for you. Nobody is comfortable and happy with their life being ordered for them. So in the space when and if you want to order your life, this is a good week to do so. Preparation from now into the 11th will be crucial, because the new moon is energies that will have its themes that will be reverberating over these next 28 to 30 days, family. So let's look at the astrology in reference to the conversation. So as I was saying earlier, we see the sun real sturdy and strong in that Aries energy, and in order for it to be a new moon, the sun and moon has to conjunct. So unless the sun is going to skip jump about 10 degrees in a matter of 2 days, the sun will be in the Aries energy and the moon will follow it in the Aries energy. And this is a very interesting and powerful time. As I stated earlier, the third decan of Aries is ruled by Venus. And I didn't state that earlier. I'm stating it now, okay? the third decan of Aries is ruled by Venus. And this is interesting because we're in Aries. Now, what's opposed Aries? Taurus. So if Taurus is opposed Aries and Venus is, this decan is ruled, so Aries third decan is ruled by Venus. Venus is exalted in Libra. This is a tongue twister, so bear with me, but it means a lot. That's why I'm kind of going through it. Venus is the ruling planet of the third decan of Aries. Venus is also exalted in Libra. Libra is opposed Aries. So when you have a new moon in the third decan of Aries, it has a Venusian energy attached to it. But this Venusian energy is detrimental because it's opposed its exalted space. An analogy would be, which I'll continue to use this analogy throughout the build. If you were a king or a queen, and this is your Venusian aspect where you feel exalted, Venus as a queen feels exalted in her relationship. Period. King, queen, the end. Ideologies get tossed in. Single queens, queens marrying other queens. Go crazy. But let's just imagine you're a king or a queen and you're not in your kingdom. King and queen, and you're not in your kingdom. And now you have to set an intention for the future, knowing damn well you're the king and queen of Zamunda, but you're in America right now. So you don't have the diplomatic influence that you would have in another area. However, they giving out free checks in America and they ain't giving out free checks in Zamunda. So you have to weigh your options. Okay. Venus is exalted in Libra. Libra is just Latin for scales. So we could say Venus rules the scales, and the scales determine if energies are balanced, if energies weigh out. Because if energies weigh out, there is this existential internal positive vibration. And do you know what we call that existential internal vibration? We call it love. Okay. Why is it that when somebody, step on our toe, it's hard to say that we love them? Because our energies is unbalanced. Now, when they step on our toe and then give us $20 or $100 so they can replace our J's, then we like, damn, nobody ever stepped on my toes and bought me new shoes before. I think I love you, right? You balance me out. You make life easier. You make life better. How do you make life better? Because I'm not fucking going crazy, right? So understanding that balancing is a perpetual, existential, constant act. If I'm saying, oh, I balanced my shit out 2 weeks ago, hood, I should be good 2 weeks later. No. That shit out of whack, out of balance. So when you reference your shadow work, when you reference your relationships, when you reference your vehicle, when you reference your career, the things that you wanted 5 years ago are not the things that you wanted today. And if you're not able to be honest about that shit, 2021 is going to keep 2021 in your ass. Okay? You ever got 2021 before? It's a different vibration and a different frequency. And speaking of different vibrations and different frequencies, it's 2:08 and I haven't had no caffeine today. Ain't y'all happy for me? But I have been drinking water. So maybe that's the secret of life. Just getting some water. In the hood, no morning cup is available at Columbian Exchange. Shameless, but not so shameless plug. It ain't like y'all gonna buy the cup anyways. I'm just saying, if you wanted to get it, y'all, you know how people ask you stuff, they be like, hey man, where you get that from? Why you want to know where I got that from? It ain't like you gonna buy the shit anyway. You just want to be nosy. They just want to be nosy. So peace to everybody. Thank you for joining me as we deal with this new moon energy in Sidereal Aries, where you are honest about your limitations. You're honest about your energies. You're honest about what you're trying to manifest. Because if you're not honest about your limitations, what tends to happen? Energy, it causes an internal disorder, an internal vibration that, man, something ain't right. I'm limited in this energy right now. And it's not like I'm reaching the top. It's not like I'm about to reach the edge, but just in case I just might want to reach the edge, I can't, right? In a relationship, a woman might feel like, damn, I want to be with two dudes today. I want him and her, right? But then you like, I'm married to Jim James, and Jim James ain't gonna like it if I brought him and her today, so I'm limited. And I'm not gonna talk about how I'm a freak of the week, freak a leak, because my husband don't want a freaky leak. He want me to be a good girl. You're not a good girl. And it's not to say that you're not a good girl. You're a great girl, but you're not being honest about your greatness, to which you're letting a man subdue you and limit you, and not even have the conversation to which you feel limited for your expression. So I'm not saying one thing or another thing, because y'all can take what I say and throw it away. But in reference to your relationships, are you honest in them? In relation to your job, are you honest within your job? Are you in the job at the place that you honestly feel like this is where I'm supposed to be? Or do you feel like you're limited by your position? Or do you feel like you limited by the amount of money that you're receiving, to which, what the hell are you going to do about it? You got unlimited untapped energy to use and utilize. But what are you doing with it? This is what Aries represents. Aries represents initiation. So a new moon in Aries is initiation overload, to which it's enough resources for you to initiate anything that you want to initiate. But if you're referencing your limits, if you're referencing your dishonesty, you're just going to be going head first towards your limits, right? Your limits are a barrier. You're not going to break past it. Forget about that. Or you're moving head first towards your dishonesty, which once the rubber meets the road and everybody figures out, oh, you're a big liar, to which you can't even be honest about your internal truth. I want to have him and her. Well, you should have said that. Sometimes what I've noticed is that people don't tell you shit, right? And they expect you to read their minds, and they expect you to do what they want you to do, and they're not being direct. Well, Aries initiations and working with the spirit realm during this time, don't go into it with the energy of maybe, just maybe, oh, I wish that just maybe this one time I could possibly, just kind of, just get that, one little thing that I kind of really want, but not really. I mean, if you was thinking about giving it to me, I'd take it. But I mean, if you want to say no, then it's no, and it's cool. I ain't trying to argue with you or fight with you or nothing like that. You real comfortable within your limitations, and you real comfortable with your dishonesty, and you real comfortable in your disorder. However, it is time for us to address this. So we gonna start a new thing, family. You know me, I like to create new stuff. I like to start new shit that you never heard of, shit that you ain't never seen, and I want that shit to work. So you know how conscious people, they always say, or not even conscious, just spiritual, mainstream, conspiracy theorists like to throw this in your face. The powers that be, they like to control us out of chaos, out of chaos comes order, and they be controlling us because out of chaos, and they putting this, and they doing this, and they doing that, and they doing this, and they doing that, and we just out here confused, and little boys and little girls without nowhere to turn. And what are we supposed to do? Because out of chaos comes order, and I'm afraid of chaos, hood. The reality of chaos is that you don't understand it. You think that chaos is disorder, but disorder is when you're not being able to speak your truth and being around people who respect your truth, honor your truth, and shower you with praise because you live in their truth, because y'all both live in your truth. All 3 of y'all live in your truth. All 7 of y'all live in your truth. And this is why confetti needs to be poured down within your relationships, because you're in a zone of truth. And the rest of the world is fake as fuck. The only place where you can be honest, open, and truthful is within your relationships. However, when you get into your relationships and there's more dishonesty and there's more shadow, that will drive you fucking up a wall, crazy, scratching your head, pulling your hair out. Because this is your last refuge of solace, of peace, of joy. And generally, without the skills, without the knowledge, without the actual practice and understanding of intentions and rituals and all of these eccentric, like, these people are controlling you, but you have the ability to control yourself, but you say, fuck that, I want them to control me. Thus, throw it all to hell, right? Throw the whole baby out with the bathwater. But chaos is not disorder, right? Chaos comes first, right? Chaos is let me read this because I got my notes. Hopefully y'all got y'all notes in referencing these times and energies and understanding your chart. Understand that I'm not doing this for y'all. I'm doing this for me. I'm taking these notes for me. I'm having this conversation for me because this is the energy that I need to have, and I need to recall and reflect upon these concepts. So it's none of this shit comes easy. I'm here with pen and pad, taking my own fucking notes and referencing some real shit that's really going to help me. I'm not here for y'all trying to show off and shuck and jive and fuck. Ain't no such thing as somebody new to spirituality. Y'all old ancient ass beings. Fuck all that new to spirituality shit. Fuck on, right? Fuck on. You know what I mean? So what is chaos? Chaos is the original, primordial, creative, manifesting principle that rests within. You can never be a newbie, fam, if you got chaotic energy within you. You can never be a beginner if you got chaotic energy. These niggas be hustling, trying to make money off your ignorance, to which you need to be enlightened. You need to be understood that all of your knowledge, all of your truth comes from within, right? But in one aspect, because as I was having this conversation, I'm just remembering a point that I was having within my mind. It is yourself in the external world, but it's also yourself in the non-physical energy to which you are playing with. So we're doing intentions and rituals, but y'all don't really understand the non-physical sphere, meaning that the non-physical is like the gas. It is the spiritual fuel that is going to perpetuate and motivate and push you through this energy sphere called a cyclical cycle, such as how the energies just spin around and spiral in the cosmos, right? These things are just kind of moving in cycles. But if we don't understand these cycles, we will just continuously be blinded to these cycles and generally will completely rest in clout, right? Completely satisfied that people like us, completely satisfied that you got money, completely satisfied that you got an old lady that don't like you, or you got a baby daddy who will come through and smash whenever you want them to, completely comfortable within your energies, which you're not being honest about your limitations. Because being honest about your limitations, you would be somewhat frustrated, you would be somewhat not the friendliest person to be with, because it's shit that you need to do, and you need to do shit with those people that you need to do shit with. 10 times out of 10, you can be in a situation where nobody is supporting you, nobody is helping you, and you feel fucked up because you're supposed to feel fucked up. Because if you was feeling great, you would have stayed in that fucked up situation perpetually. So when you look at your anger, because this is all fire energy, shit that gets stigmatized without even being understood. Anger, rage, depression, right? Sadness. All indications that you just not in a position or in a place for which you supposed to be at. So let's go through this one more time, because I got a little bit fired up and pumped up. Out of order. So ordering your life, doing your intention work, doing your ritual work, not to get something, because that'll fuck it up. If you do intentions and you do rituals for a specific thing, it's going to fuck it up. It's going to fuck up somehow. Even if you get it, you could be married, you do a love spell, you married to a person for 10 years. The 10th year, something weird happened. You know why it happened? You did that weird ass spell. Stop doing shit for shit and do shit because of it. Do intentions and rituals and spells because you can do it, because you have the ability to do it, not because you can get something out of it. Deal with the non-physical, deal with these oppositional energies because they exist, not because they're going to give you a new fat ride at the end of the day. So out of order comes chaos, but what is chaos? Chaos is an opportunity. Watch the video, The God of the Opportunity. Kairos. Because chaos is an energy, a deity. Opportunity is an energy and a deity. And I guarantee you, when you deal with your chaos energy, stop. Because you listening, not really listening. I need you to really listen to this shit right here. I need you to really fucking stop for a second and listen to this shit. When you deal with your chaos energy, what is your chaos energy? Your original, primordial, creative, manifesting principle that rests within. And you deal with the God of opportunity. You put them together. You cannot lose. You cannot lose. You are undefeated. There is nothing stopping you. You finished. You completed everything that you need to complete. This is real intentions. This is real rituals, because you're not really having a specific goal in mind. Because if you don't get your specific goal emotionally and vibrationally, you'll be off. I wanted to have a boyfriend, but he ended up being, a horrible guy. So now I just feel bad because of what I wanted and I didn't get what I want. Let me just also say that that's childish as fuck. And as I'm referencing conversations that I just been having for these past couple of weeks, it's a lot of childish energy in reference to I want something that I ain't getting it, so I'm gonna feel a certain type of way. And at the same time, I'm like, damn, you a whole chaos being. You have access to the non-physical realms. You can do intentions. You could do sigils. You could program yourself. You could hypnotize yourself. You can do mentalism. You could do cyclomancy. You could do geomancy. You could go. It's all types of magical shit I can tap into. I can tap to the fairies. I can tap into the ancestors. I can tap into my loved ones. I could do all types of spiritual shit. I don't got no reason or excuse to be sad. Unless I'm dishonest and I'm secretive, which are other characteristics of disorder. So let's just break it down and understand it and move on. So new moon is conjunct energy, meaning the moon is conjunct the sun. But because of his deacon and because of his energy, it puts you in a space of really going for it. because it's an absorbent amount of energy that you have to play with. But the esoteric or the personal individual aspect in reference to how you deal with this energy is very simple. Are you honest about your limits so you can begin to create solutions that will allow you to manifest that which you desire? 1 second. I said, are you honest about your limits so you can work on solutions that will bring about those manifestations of desires? Or do you sit in silence, sit in secrets, and create more shadow? Turning the page. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all in this energy sphere, in this energy portal known as Earth. People come, people go. Some of us stay longer than expected, but we are on a spaceship, all going to our destination. And a new moon is like a train station, right? Some of us get on, some of us stay on, and some of us get off. So hopefully later on tonight, y'all all can get off. Shout out to everybody getting off tonight. I feel like it's a vibe being set right now. I don't know. I feel like real vibrational right now. So let me get back to the conversation because the vibe was trying to take over. Drink some water. I'm telling you, this vibe is unstoppable. But let's continue our conversation. Perfect time. It's always a perfect time for that. But I digress. So the Trimurti. This is another topic. It's on topic, but it's off topic, because in the space of oppositional forces where you have the new moon, right, which is initiation, which would be Brahma, the creator. Now I'm referencing the Trimurti in a channel that I got in reference to people wanting to manifest their realities and a good deity to deal with in reference and manifesting their reality. As I was doing this research, Vishnu popped up and said, hey bruh, talk about me, put me into the conversation. People can actually use me to manifest what they want. I said, how so? He said, I'm the maintainer. I'm the preserver. I'm the sustainer. I am the everyday energy. So let's think about what we're trying to attend. Are we intending some amazing, fantastical shit that we can't maintain, sustain, or preserve? I.e. your relationship, i.e. your last job, i.e. your last car? Y'all don't want to talk about it, so we're going to leave it alone. Y'all don't want to talk about it, so we gonna leave it alone. Or are we just gonna maintain the energy for which that we can sustain and maintain? So once again, being silent about what you can't handle. I really can't handle all of this shit that I'm already dealing with, but you gonna attend for more shit. Tell me how that makes sense. Tell me how that works out for you. The email is hoodmystic@gmail.com. However, if you look at your life in a logical, honest, realistic, it's this is what I can do. This is what I have. This is what I'm working with. Take it or leave it. Then you walk in that everyday energy. You live in that everyday energy. You take it or leave it. I'm giving. Take it or leave it. I mean, it's like the reason why I say don't have an intention per se, don't wish for nothing in particular, because I done manifested shit before. Like, I know people that manifest shit. I know people who got shit, and it's the same shit from rich nigga to broke person. It's not a situation where you look at a person for being more or less. You just looking at people as the same energy. And this is why it's like, why would you do an intention? Why would you do a ritual on a new moon? Because you can. Why wouldn't you? Your ancestors did it. And he's like, well, who cares what the ancestors did? Well, if your ancestors didn't live ritualistically, your ass wouldn't be here. And generally, you may feel in a space, well, I don't even want to be here. This is where it gets a little tricky, because Vishnu has different incarnations and he represents the ways of the world. And one of his last incarnations is a carnation called Kalki. And Kalki is here to get rid of the bad people, wicked people, negative people, and preserve and lift up the good people. Now, where do you find good and bad? Is it the good business owner? Is it the good model? Is it the good baker? Is it the good politician? No. These are inconsequential, non-playable characters. We're talking about your good and your wicked, and this is the energy for which he is coming for specifically. So where do you become good at? You become good in your relationships. That's the only place for which we need to transform. That's why you see in all of these Kevin Samuels and Derek Jacksons and Lapeef Let's Talks and all of these energies, and women are looking at it like, oh no, I don't need to hear that. That's bull stuff. I don't like that. And you could be right about it. But what men are saying over and over again is that please be better in your relationships. Please treat us better. How we say it might be fucked up. The way we say it might be wrong. How we look might be ugly. But if you listen with your third ear and watch with your third eye, you would hear and see that men are specifically just saying, just treat us a little bit better. And ultimately, a person can only say that if they become that. So generally, you will say, well, my baby daddy, uncle, cousin, he do all types of weird stuff. You got to be very esoteric and very personal and understanding that our relationships are important. So this conversation oppositionally is bringing about another download that I had in reference to the success portion of my life and then the personal portion of my life, and how these two things are diametrically opposed. It's like, I never came from a reading like, man, that reading was crazy, babe. That was a real good ass reading. Oh, babe, let me twerk for you. Let me give you extra lips. Because the personal and the professional are two different energies. And we need to find that middle point. Like at a personal level. Because in our relationships, even in our relationships, we could be working to create a better image. And this is Aries energy, first house energy, right? First house energy is how you're seen. And this third decan of Venus, ruled by Venus, opposed Libra, is what efforts are you really working within your relationship to really get that first house to gloss and show? Because sometimes when you just try to work your first house from your first house, like outside in, like work on the aesthetics of your first house, taking all the pictures all on social media and things of that nature, like, look at us, we're happy. That ain't the real way to be a happy family, believe it or not. Just because you think that we happy, even if you thought we were happy, that wouldn't make us happy. We actually have to do the work, the honesty, gritty shit that don't nobody tell y'all about relationships other than they look so cute together. Looking cute together and doing the work for a I'm telling you, that shit is treacherous, bro. You gotta be so strong that why would you even want a relationship? To which, if you don't even have the mindset and the skills, like to be like, I want to be in a relationship and I want to do the dirty work. So this is bringing us to Vishnu. Can you be good in your relationship, or are you wicked in your relationship? Kalki coming for you. And it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing if you imagine that like you got to see it beyond the honesty, because approaching the honesty is like, oh my God, this big bad bully, right? Through the honesty is truth, and truth is enlightenment, and truth is the only value that we have. But truth has to be investigated. If I'm just imagining something to be true, and then the shit ain't playing out the way I want it to be played out, and I'm confused about it, is because it probably ain't as true as I think. To which the conversations, the honesty, the shadow work, the deeper shit that y'all afraid of, because we can be physical and not deal with this type of stuff and be unhappy. Or we could get out our pen and papers, do our inner work, work out our charts, do our chakra work. Because if I'm understanding my chart and if I'm doing my chakra work, that's not going to fucking help nobody but me, right? To which the worst part of my job is that me just talking about it ain't enough. I can't just rest on the fact that, oh, I talk about chakras, I talk about astrology, I talk about shadow work. If I don't get y'all niggas to do the shit, then this shit is null and void. So my whole thing is to be clear, is to be matter of fact, because I want you to be innerly motivated to do your own work. And then once you get to your intentions, you only intend that which you can sustain, and stand in that, right? Don't intend stuff that you just want that you can't even handle. Because if you think you can't handle it, then you can't handle it, right? So once again, we are simply dealing with the inner transformational aspects of these concepts, because we are wishing to initiate truthful and joyous bonds. And in our work, we are attempting to establish an ethical and integral space within our work, because it matters. We really do not like to be in bonds that are not truthful, whether we know it or not. We really don't like being with bonds that are not joyous, whether we know it or like. We really don't like doing things for money that are unethical, whether we know it or not. We really don't like living in a space where we're not integral to other people's lives, whether we know it or not. These 4 things matter, and these are 4 tenets of the Krittaka Nakshatra and how it references the Pleiades. And Pleiades, Aries, Taurus is the root of the energy, meaning that the root is not the, what you call that, blossom or tulip, or I don't know what you call it, top of the actual flower. The root is not the flower, but you will not have a flower without a root. To which all of your manifestations have to be a root, to which your initiation, intention, and ritual work is super important, but it might not have anything to do with the overall fruit, but it has everything to do with it. So to have a beautiful relationship that will blossom like a tulip or a rose, that root work is the shadow work. Baby, I like this. Baby, I like that. And y'all not taking it personal. Or you realizing that, okay, this might not work for us because we're just too different. Or we don't even really want to work towards a solution. But your honesty will allow you to get to that level, which your silence and shadow and secrets would never. So when you think about all of this energy, it's like, all right, we're going to fill you up with a full tank. And this is the last tank you're going to get until you come around here. You want to know exactly where you want to go, right? Because you know that Gas is of an essence, right? It's not something that you can waste. Your energy is not something that you can waste. So the ability to get honest, to get truthful, to get real, to get authentic as quick as possible is really the keys to it. As I'm talking, I'm sensing a lot of people just kind of lying a lot of times, and it really ain't nothing I can do about y'all lying to people. So y'all gonna have to figure that out. So once again, why is this all important? Because if we're honest about our limits, our selfish and karmic love energies won't be able to run wild. Because generally what's creating our sadness, our disposition, our lack of depth, our lack of sense of humor, shout out to Serpent, is the fact that we are selfish as a fuck. And we are karmically predisposed to what we attract to ourselves, meaning that I'm telling myself all of this negative energy, I'm attracting all of this negative energy, but I'm the creator of the negative energy in my life. And until I stop being my own worst problem, my biggest problem, then my problems will continually consist, because the energies that exist, that influences, such as Aries, such as the sun and the moon, they're not gonna stop. Meaning that there's a lot of energy to perpetuate your dreams and visions for the next year, the same way as we manifested the chakra nova energy, right? We started last year around this time and we're finishing up around this time, meaning that I could sustain that, we could work that. It wasn't a hard thing to do, but it still was an idea, and the idea was perpetuated by fuel, and this fuel sustained us the whole way around the cosmic ecliptical line, and now we're here. Chakra Nova is in stores available right now too. ColumbianExchange.com. That's Columbian Exchange with an X. The link will be in my link tree in the descriptions as well. Moving on. No, I'm moving on, but I'm still on this slide. Let me do some we live, so the editing and everything, it takes place right before your eyes if you're paying attention, right? I'll let people know what it is. New moon Aries energy. Tact and gentleness. These are the energies that will allow you to maintain successfully. So you have chaos, your primordial, original, can't even conceptualize it, it's so abstract. But before life created, before the physical, you had your chaos energy. And your chaos energy was manifesting everything that you see today. But just because it created everything you see today does not mean that it has disappeared and went away and vanished. You have the opportunity to create a new life for yourself based upon your energy. But are you in tune to it? Are you understanding it? Is it something that you really can conceptualize and contextualize and feel and understand and go past belief? Just, it's an integral part of your being, this spiritual energy. And once you come to that conclusion, once you come to that understanding, you still have to manifest things. And the way to manifest is through tact and gentleness. And I'm going to give you the opposite, is to show you a way of not to manifest, just by telling people everything that you're trying to manifest. Hey y'all, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, but ain't doing nothing, right? Not even, all right, you telling the goddamn on postman about your business ideas, but you ain't telling your business partner about your business ideas. That's lack of tact, right? You ain't reading a room, you ain't reading nothing, right? So tact is the skill to perceive the environment, to address your needs and others. So once you perceive the environment, you then know how to actively address your personal needs and then the needs of others. But if you don't perceive the environment, perceive who you're talking to, another concept of tact could be found in the Bible where they say casting your pearls unto swine, right? Not knowing who you talking to about what. Generally, people really don't even know that I talk for real, because I'm not gonna talk to people who don't really care or take an interest in nothing that I'm saying or thinking, because I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm not trying to convert anybody, and I'm not trying to make a point. I'm just living in my truth. Now, I can talk like this all day, every day, but if don't nobody want to hear it, I can be quiet and write my notes and read my book and not say a damn thing, because I have tact. I understand the environment and I operate as such. And generally, when you're trying to manifest something, know that you're going to manifest it. And because of that, you have to just be very perceptive and then ask yourself these questions. Is this helping me manifest it, or is it hurting me? If it's a financial goal and I'm spending money on inconsequential energy, how closer am I getting to my goal? Thus, do I even want the shit that I say that I want? Or am I just saying that I want it because I don't have it? Now, be clear, y'all doing intention work just because y'all don't have shit and imagining that that's normal. It's not normal. So gentleness, where we might think gentleness is like soft and very, very gentle. Gentle is really etymologically coming from the word gene or root energy, to maintain or sustain, and it's a play on Vishnu. Now, the opposite of gentleness would be rough. Now, if you're rough, it may feel good to be rough, but to maintain and sustain and to carry energy from one place to another, gentle is the way to go. But gentle is a way of kind of tuning in and tapping into your DNA. And once you understand that your DNA and all of these energies is something that is a reflective internal process, meaning that you got to shut down everything that you're doing and stop focusing on that shit and really get into a personal space where you're listening to yourself. Meaning that you have to be gentle with yourself, gentle with your spiritual process. You can't be rough. You can't be rushed. Why haven't I done this or done that? Well, have you been gentle to yourself? Have you internalized yourself? Have you exercised tact, right? Or are you trying to get your mama to watch a Bobby Hemmett video? I want to call this section of the video Imagine If. In reference to y'all half-ass new moon intentions. Imagine if you had a dream job, but you went there and you hated it every day. But it was your dream job and you worked so hard to get it. You went to 7 years of college, moved to a different state, moved away from your family, filled out the application, did about 11 interviews, finally got it. Got your security badge, can go into all of the doors and go everywhere throughout the building, but you hate every damn inch of the building. How much time did you waste? But let's not stop there. What if you got your dream car today and they said the insurance on this dream car is going to be $1,500 a month? And the car note is going to be another $1,500 a month. And the maintenance is going to run you another $10,000 extra a year. Would you be happy that you worked so hard and built your credit up to get a car that you couldn't even afford? But let's not stop there. Imagine if you manifested your dream boy or your dream girl. In the moment you got in the room with your dream girl and your dream boy, they started treating you like shit. And even worse, you started treating them like shit because they treated you like shit. And then imagine if your dream girl or your dream boy resulted into a toxic relationship. just imagine when you thinking about what you think you want and how once you get it, it's going to be so great. Instead of thinking that I just want this because I don't have it. To which I can spend a lot of my new moon intentional energy of focusing and building on energies that I already have and balancing those things out. If two people have $1,000 each, one invests it wisely in Bitcoin and makes $350, he now has $1,350. The other spends $650 on a vacation and posts cool pictures on Instagram and Facebook. He now has $350. So one guy looks like he's winning and the other is actually on the path to actually win. Social media is a highlight reel, and in reality, most people are losing. One, you plus your partner is just two. But when y'all work together, y'all create something new. See, I'm a poet. I don't even know it, man. 1 + 1 = 3, man. We on this manifestation trail, and I'm not the only one on there. I want y'all all to be on this manifestation trail with me. Okay? So, the overall message of this presentation, with all of your intentions and all of the things that you can intend, be very clear on that which you can make. Be very clear on that for which you can maintain, sustain, and also keep balance. This has been my Aries new moon in the 3rd decan of Aries, ruled by Venus with the Libra influence. I hope this information was relevant and helped you moving into this May 11th new moon, for you to get your mind right, your money right. It's time for war. Once again, thank y'all for selling me out of Chakra Nova. I had to get more copies, and those copies are coming in the mail as soon as possible. I plan on having those new batches of books out the end of May, last week of May, and you should have them no later than the 1st week of June. But beyond that, probably everybody that I know probably done bought the book, so I ain't talking to nobody right now. But if you haven't bought the book, you know, don't be the only person that fuck with me that just don't got the book. You know, if you really fuck with me and if you really serious about doing this work, this is one of my best works ever. You know what I'm saying? And all of this wouldn't even have been possible without y'all support, without y'all tuning in and tapping in and keeping me motivated, letting me know that this conversation isn't falling on deaf ears. And so thank y'all for being y'all. Thank y'all for just showing up, and continue to do so. If y'all need anything from me, please let me know. My links are in the description. My email, hoodmystic@gmail.com. Yeah, man, I'm back to this. About to get these hood in the mornings together. Probably will do 2 or 3 this week, depending on the vibrations and the energy. But I'm just trying to do the work myself, man. I'm trying to get back in the gym, trying to get healthy, trying to get my mind right, trying to be a better father, be a better partner. And that concludes the presentation. Hope it was enjoyable. And if it was enjoyable, do me the biggest favor and tell somebody about this, and then ask them to watch it after you tell them about it. Just don't send them a leak. Don't just share it on your Facebook, but have a conversation in reference to what you've learned in this video, and then let somebody else know. And with that being said, man, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday and the rest of the week. Be sure to like, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell if you haven't already. If you hit the notification bell and they haven't notified you, unnotify yourself and then hit the notification bell again. With that being said, though, y'all have a excellent rest of the day, and I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace.